sound like our intro?
Kid's a walking beatbox. It's as good as it gets.
We're back for episode 15 of the Shy Sports Weekly podcast. Kyle, Ty, how are we doing, boys?
What's going on? Good. How are you?
Great.
Back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle.
Is that our thing? That's our thing now, right? Back in the saddle.
You said it week 1, and I've said it the next 14 weeks. So
we're rolling.
I don't know if it's our thing, but yeah, we're gonna use it. Printed T-shirts.
We could trademark that, probably, right?
Back in the saddle, and just a picture of Ty in a saddle.
Sack in the battle.
Sack in the battle. How we doing? How was the weekend?
It was great. It was great. A weekend to be a Cubs fan.
Who was it ever? Well,
I mean,
we'll get
holy
it.
shit.
We'll dive into the Cubs in the sports talk, but we gotta catch up. Ty, you had a wedding this weekend. How was that?
I did. Middle of nowhere, Kansas, Maryville, Kansas. It's a $350 flight, if you were wondering, into Kansas City. And then you have to rent a car and drive 2 hours to Maryville, Kansas, is how it works. Middle of fucking nowhere, not a damn thing open. A lot of farmlands out there, but I'll tell you what, the wedding itself was a good time. I fucking drank a whole bunch. So, as you do at a wedding.
Why does it cost so much to fly there? Is that just a small airport?
Dude, it is a
One
tiny
runway?
airport. Literally, you get out of the gate and then you walk out the door in front of you and you're out of the airport. It's the smallest airport in the fucking world.
Do you walk out on like
flight.
the tarmac?
No.
It's not like one of those.
No, but 55 minutes, dude. I mean, as far as flights go, it's the best flight you could ever ask for.
Who
very
got
nice.
married?
My buddy Will.
Shout out Will.
Shout out Will.
Congrats.
Shout out Will,
Congrats,
shout
and we're
out,
sorry.
Shout out Will, because we played in that wiffle ball tournament with him.
Exactly. We won a
Never
bunch
met
of money.
Will. So let's set the over-under of beers that Ty had on Saturday. I'm going to say 13 and a half.
Over.
Oh, dude, hammer the fuck out of the over. We left Kansas.
You didn't, like, do you not mix in like a vodka water or like a couple shots? Are you just
whiskey,
just
Cokes? Yeah, mix it.
So you had 14 plus beers while you're also having whiskey Cokes.
I had like 14
shots.
beers before the wedding even started. Probably we got into the town to our hotel at like 10 a.m. and just started drinking immediately. And the wedding wasn't until 4:30. So you do the math.
Wow. What time did you go to sleep? What time do you
10
think that the final drink was? So from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. And that,
I mean,
whatever
final
that
drink
is.
was like 12:55. I probably passed out with it in my hand.
So
shared
since this was in Kansas, was this like a hill jack wedding at all?
No. I expected it to be a little bit, but it wasn't.
what
okay.
wedding? What type
Hilljack.
of wedding? What's that mean?
Redneck, hillbilly.
Yeah. No, it was
Hill Jack. Never heard of that. Good to know.
wasn't
You
like
learn
that,
something
but
new every day on the Shy Sports Weekly podcast.
Yes, you do. We have new words for everything.
There we
Precisely.
go. What week is this? 15?
This is 15.
We never even did the who's number 15.
No, not yet. I kind of wanted to hear about Ty's weekend. I was excited to hear how many beers he drank. Did you have the tie around your forehead?
No, didn't even wear a tie to the reception. Took that shit off beforehand. But then I shared a room with Trevor. You guys know Trevor.
Yep.
He fell asleep in his fucking dress pants, button down, and dress shoes and tie. Full wedding attire, passed out. So
I mean, we've all been there.
oh yeah. I mean, that's
Right.
just another
It just
weekend.
means he had a good time.
Exactly.
I mean, Franca's wedding. I woke up the complete opposite. I just woke up completely butt ass naked on the floor from Franca's wedding at like 4 a.m. I had zero idea where I was. So I guess that's the complete opposite. But there's that video of Andy rolling around like doing
In
somersaults and literally tearing down drapes as he's going, doing backwards somersaults. Gail had the camera on him, so that was fun.
I did too. I put that on my Instagram story. He wakes up at like 5 a.m. and is like, dude, delete that right now.
Please delete that. I don't want Franca seeing this.
That's the Andy we all know and love.
There he is. Yeah, that's Randy. All right, let's get to the number 15s here because I have one that is just gonna rile up the brothers.
All right. Well, why don't we kick it off with that one?
No. I'm saving this one. This is my break in case of emergency, but I will break it. I'm gonna start off though with a number 15, Brandon Marshall,
That's
on 6/15.
if you didn't start with Brandon Marshall, I was going to start with Brandon Marshall on 6:15. The Cutler Marshall connection. Wow,
Yeah.
beauty. I'll go with. How about the Jim Edmonds week?
Oh, Jim Edmonds. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm the resident Blackhawks guy here. I'll go Artem Anisimov.
Nice. See, like once again, I had no Blackhawks players listed or written down. So there we go. There's Kyle's token Blackhawks player. Thank you for that. This one stings a little. How about the Brandon Morrow week?
Was Brandon Morrow number 15?
Yes, he was.
Oh,
At least for one season.
did not know that. That's a good take there. How about
I have a good one too. That's coming up. Maybe I'll let you go first.
Oh, I don't. It might be the same
Haymaker.
one. Huh?
With your haymaker.
Do you want me to do the breaking case of emergency right
Yes.
now?
Yep.
I'll give you a hint. He went to Oregon State. Not telling you the sport.
I'm gonna guess that it's Darwin Barney.
Darwin Barney.
Yes.
I fucking love that guy.
For some reason, I had a feeling he was an Oregon State Beaver.
Beaver. He's definitely munching. He is a beaver for all time's sake. I love that guy. Love me some Darwin Barney. Who else we got?
Wasn't he like was he ever
Gold glover
for a Gold Glove, or did he win one?
No, so do you remember? No, he won a Gold Glove.
Yeah.
How do you not? Maybe it was with Gal when this happened, but this was our freshman year of college, and he won the Gold Glove. And remember Brandon Phillips said that shit. He's like, yeah, it's kind of bullshit that this guy won. He's not even that good. He was just talking shit about Darwin Barney.
I mean, how many Gold Gloves did Brandon Phillips need? It's like, dude, let someone else have one for a change.
Share the wealth one time for me,
right,
Brandon.
So my fun one is Jerry Hairston Jr. with the Cubs, and then Jerry Hairston Sr. with the Sox.
Did you know Jerry Hairston Jr.? I'll say, because I don't know where Senior is from. Jerry Hairston Jr. is from Naperville.
I think I did know that in the back of my head, not in the front, but in the back.
Yeah, kept that stored away. And
business in the front, party in the back.
Just for the safest keeping, yeah. Jerry Hairston, a Naperville native. All right, give us Ty. Do you have a number 15 here?
Yeah,
any sport.
You're asking the wrong dude.
You literally any sport, any team, just any number 15. You can't name.
Just don't say Javon Wims.
Javon Wims.
Is Javon Wims number 15 now?
I told you not to say Javon Wims.
Is that what he's reverting to?
I think so.
Listen, you could name my favorite player of any sport ever, and I'd be like, I don't even know what the fuck number that guy is.
Frank Thomas.
Is he 15?
No.
I was like, that doesn't sound right. No, Frank Thomas. What was he?
That's what we're just asking you. What is Frank Thomas's number?
13? I have no idea.
No, lower.
35. Come on, Ty.
I was gonna give him a clue, but yeah. Here's a clue. It's 35.
You're gonna give him a clue. We're gonna be here all night.
Yeah. You want me to just run through the numbers 1 through 100? Because that's what it's gonna be.
Because how many players wearing 100 do you see?
You'd be surprised, dude.
Ty loves the refs.
I'm a big 99 guy.
He's a big zebra guy. He's all about the stripes.
You don't see too many 99s anymore.
No, you don't. Tank Johnson is the first one that comes to mind.
I'm trying to think. Like, when was the last time you saw just anybody wearing a number 99?
What was the Japanese guy's name on the Cubs?
Dude, I shit you not right now. The Cubs are facing the Mets, and Taijuan Walker, the starting pitcher, is number 99.
There you go.
Taijuan Walker. There you go.
No, Kyle, what was the Japanese guy that they had for it was like for one season or half a season, and he was
Taguchi or Munenori Kawasaki.
Kawasaki, wasn't he 99?
66.
Okay.
So Taguchi was 99.
A little dyslexic.
A little racist.
Taguchi was 99 though. He crossed my mind too.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Well, anyways, let's just dive into the Cubs because we were going to start Bears, right? We're starting Bears first.
Yeah, let's start Bears.
Let's get
the bad stuff out of the way.
A little QB controversy, so to say. So today, Matt Nagy on the Chris Collinsworth podcast. By the way, I mean, I know we're saying this on our podcast, but how many fucking people have just their own podcast now?
I was just going to say, why does Chris Collinsworth have a podcast?
I feel
I
like,
will say the guy has a great voice, but that's about all he's got.
yeah, he's got those slide-ins with Al Michaels on Sunday Night Football. But besides that, I have zero interest in listening to a Chris Collinsworth podcast.
Right.
But anyways, Matt Nagy was on there and he said there's no possible scenario where Justin Fields starts week 1. Andy is our starter. Justin is our number 2.
No possible scenario. Okay. What if
There
Andy
is
Dalton?
no personal scenario.
What if Andy Dalton wins the lotto and he's not coming? He's not showing up to training camp at Soldier Field.
I think the way I look at it, Andy Dalton has already won the lotto because he found some team stupid enough to give him $10 million.
No better team. No better team to be giving him $11 million to be the backup quarterback.
It's just I don't understand this by any stretch of the imagination. I'm looking at the comments and people are just dumbfounded. If you think it's a good idea for Fields to start week 1, you don't know football. Mike Lennon. It's let's see here. Andy Dalton breaks his leg. Justin's still not starting.
Who said that?
The slumlord millionaire on Instagram.
Oh, I thought you meant. So you said Mike Lennon. I thought you meant Mike Lennon said that.
No, Mike. Some guy named or somebody on Instagram with the username Mike Lennon just commented Mike Lennon.
Yeah, what if Dalton breaks his clavicle in training camp? You're not going to start fucking Justin
No possible
Fields?
scenario. That's why they have Foles, dude. Come on, they thought about this.
I don't know. Fire this man already. Actually, and then there's some people. This is good. The correct decision. He just saying that so Fields don't game plan, or so the Rams don't game plan for Fields. I don't know. What do you? What's your take on that?
I mean, it sounded like a pretty strong, firm opinion from Matt Nagy. It sounded like he wasn't budging from that based on the way that he said it. But I also feel like sometimes coaches, players, whoever, just kind of say the politically correct thing to the media. And who knows what the actual truth is. I'm sure in his mind he's thinking, yes, Justin Fields is going to be our starter as soon as possible. But I think he's just giving like cookie cutter answers for now to not make too many waves.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually not reading too much into this by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just loving all the comments that people, Twitter and Instagram are just the worst and funniest places for those instant reactions.
Yes.
Nagy only likes guys that will throw passes behind the line of scrimmage.
To be honest, I don't necessarily hate it either. If Dalton started the first couple of games or whatever.
You wouldn't hate that?
No, I don't think I really don't think the season is over after the first 2 games. You're going to lose if you start 0-2 because Andy Dalton's the quarterback.
No, I don't. I don't give a shit either, to be honest with you. I don't think it's that big. Like, probably better Andy Dalton starts week 1.
Wow. I'm actually surprised you're saying that. I thought you were going to come in here firing, saying that Justin Fields needs to be QB1 starting quarterback under center first week.
While I have developed a few quarterbacks in my day, I do have to say that letting Andy Dalton get fed to the wolves with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey week 1 might not be the worst thing ever. However, if in training camp Andy Dalton just shows out and is just clearly better than Andy Dalton, you know my take on those eyebrows.
You mean if Justin Fields is better than Andy Dalton?
Pardon me. If Justin Fields is just clearly better than Andy Dalton, you know my take on those eyebrows. I don't like them. You can't win with them. The only reason I'm saying Andy Dalton should or could start game 1 is that he'd be like essentially a human sacrifice. Get fed to the wolves, take your beating, and Justin, you can start game 2.
That's kind of what I've been saying from the beginning. It's like, I don't hate the idea of Dalton starting the first, even maybe up to 4 games and just taking his licks, and then get Tevin Jenkins, get Larry Borum, get these guys comfortable. And then once they're really kind of in like a rhythm and understanding what the blocking schemes are and where they need to be on certain plays, then that's when you slide Fields in.
Yeah, I agree. I really would not read. This is blowing up everywhere and people are going nuts. I would not read that much into it. I mean, you kidding me? Was he going to say, no, it's an open competition? No, they already told Dalton that he has the job. This is exactly what he's supposed to say. I mean,
this is nice. I'm glad you're on the side. I thought I was going to have to argue with you. I was like, I don't have the energy to argue about this right now.
I mean,
this is good.
I mean, we could cut this and I could change my opinion and we could just go at it.
I don't think so.
Now, let me ask you this. As far as the O-line figuring out the blocking schemes and shit, are you worried that if Andy Dalton starts and then Justin Fields comes in halfway through the season, that the game plan drastically changes and then it was all kind of for nothing as far as the O-line figuring out blocking schemes with Dalton? Now you kind of got to figure it out with a mobile quarterback.
Max, I'll defer to you on that.
I was going to say, I'm not necessarily worried about that because ideally they should be working on that shit right now. And I don't think the game plan is going to change that drastically. I mean, obviously Fields can move, but I don't think there's going to be many run first looks with him. Like, I don't think they're not going to be trying to draw contact towards him because obviously, you want to keep him healthy and think about longevity with him and stuff. So it's not like he's going to be running too many QB options or anything like that. I don't think the offense is going to change that drastically.
And they'll still be running RPOs, and just Dalton won't have the option to run the ball himself. They'll check it into different, whether it's running plays, essentially they'll do whatever they can. So Dalton won't run the ball, obviously. I mean, as with any non-mobile quarterback, but still you don't need a mobile quarterback to run the run past option. I mean, Nick Foles was running it last year, and that guy is like has cinder blocks tied to his ankles running.
To be honest, I hope they kind of use Fields the same way that the Chiefs use Mahomes, and like don't necessarily design QB runs, but let him kind of freestyle and get outside the pocket, with the DBs downfield, and if he sees an opening, let him take off, but not necessarily, give him a read option where he could get clobbered by a defensive end.
Yeah, and he's going to have those, though. I mean, it's just inevitable. Every player does, where he has the read option, or he makes a bad decision and talks and runs and just gets smoked. But that's
running back misses a block.
Yeah, I mean, that's all part of the learning curve. But I would rather have that learning curve start not week one, to be honest with you. Yes. I know it's on Sunday Night Football, and don't get me wrong, I would absolutely love to see Justin Fields week one just light it up. To be honest, I would just love to see him week one. I don't even give a fuck what he does because I don't like Andy Dalton at all. Hey, do you think there's any way that somehow Nick Foles, I mean, out of just long shot, say Andy Dalton's our starter right now. Say he gets hurt in the preseason, but Justin Fields still isn't he's not ready yet. Do you think there's any way Nick Foles starts week one in that specific scenario?
I honestly think Andy Dalton and Nick Foles are 3D and 3C. Like these guys are pretty much interchangeable. Like
Nick Foles might as well be a D3 quarterback.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I think if Dalton weren't around or Dalton goes down, wins the lotto, whatever you want to say, then I think it's like Foles just slides in and assumes the position.
Okay. Fair enough. And I guess I'll ask you this. If with the way the roster is now and barring any injuries, do you think Foles is traded, cut? I mean, I'm assuming he's not cut because he'll be owed like $9 million. That's just a dead cap hit. But what do you think they do with Foles? Is he just going to be, it's not a healthy scratch. That's not the term, but do you think he'll just be a healthy scratch?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's just like the emergency QB, whatever you want to call it. Like who's going to take that contract in a trade? I don't think anybody wants anything to do with him.
Well, every offseason, it seems like the Eagles are always rumored to be back in the Nick Foles sweepstakes, but they just signed who's that quarterback from Mississippi State? Nick Mullins, the guy whose helmet looks way too tight for his head.
That's how my helmet would look for sure.
Yeah. But his is like his looks like he has no blood circulation going anywhere near his brain.
Well, then the Eagles can have him. And yeah, I mean, send us Alshon Jeffrey back for all I care. Just give us a guy that you don't want for a guy that we don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do have to love, the way that Fields sounds when he talks to the media and kind of all the things that he's been saying so far. It's just like the guy is clearly a leader. He's ready to be the starting quarterback. It's just kind of like what we've been saying. I think you just rather have a veteran take the field week one and then kind of just slowly get Fields into it and kind of ease him into the starting position.
Do you think if it was a different team week 1 instead of the Rams with that defense, if it was like
A cakewalk. We're playing like the Jags or something.
yeah, or the Lions or some shit team, do you think that would change the decision to start or who starts week 1?
I honestly don't. I don't think it would matter. I mean, in my opinion, it might. Like in my fantasy football mind, it might. But no, I don't think in Matt Nagy's mind it makes a difference, to be honest.
Okay. Which, I mean, yeah, no, that does make sense. One final note here on
Did you hear
Andy.
what Darnell Mooney said? He's like,
That's literally what I was. That's where I was going. I have it pulled up. The very first pass that he threw up to me, I was smiling mid route. So I don't know about you, but that's a 6 to midnight. That's our 6 to midnight quote of the week.
The Fields Mooney connection is something that I can get behind for sure.
That just sounds nice. Fields to Mooney.
Yes.
Not last name's not too long. Just short, sweet, to the point. To 7.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's actually who should have been running downfield against the Saints when Mitch hit Javon Wims.
Number 15, Javon Wims.
Literally in stride, and it just goes right through the breadbasket.
Did you see what Mitch said? That he's in a much better system in a place where people want him now. He wasn't like
backup quarterback. Everyone loves you when you're number 2.
He wasn't like bad mouthing the Bears, but if you take the quote somewhat out of context and just look at it without any background, you could be like, okay, Mitch is just shitting on the Bears and shitting on Chicago.
Yeah. He probably couldn't have gone to a more fun team and fan base, though, honestly. Good for him.
Do you think I don't know if we've talked about this on the pod before, but what do you think the best job in sports is? Because I'm going to say backup quarterback.
It's up there. Here's the thing. I watched the E60 on Alex Smith last night about him just getting his leg absolutely massacred and then him almost dying. And then.
Yeah, but he wasn't the backup. He was the starting quarterback.
Right. He was. But you could come into a game as a backup and some shit like that can happen.
Yeah.
Bullpen catcher.
Yeah, but
bullpen catchers do not make Andy Dalton money.
No, I don't need to make Andy Dalton money, dude. Like, what's a bullpen catcher make, you think?
Not a lot. Less than 6 figures, I'd imagine.
No, they got to make at least 6.
I'll say, well, so probably we go 6 figures on the dot, but they definitely get like a shit ton of free food, like free meals.
I was gonna say they probably make like
room and board. Jesus Christ, like
they
it's
make
in
like
college.
$70K, and then all their expenses throughout the season are taken care of.
And
they get to hang out with. They get just to hang out with the coolest people all the time.
There's no expectations of you. It's great.
Catch the ball.
I think actually punter is better than backup quarterback.
No.
Yes, because you can't even get hit.
Way more money as a backup QB. What's Mitch's contract? Ty, can you look that up? What Mitch is making this year? We'll have to find out what.
You should actually just look up what the league averages for NFL backup quarterbacks.
Okay, look at Nick Foles here. I mean, we talked about Foles a bit, but he's making what, 9 or 11 million this year, and he's the third string.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And he's got a hose between his legs, so he is just he's literally king of Chicago. People say Justin Fields is going to be king. No, Nick Foles is literally stealing from Chicago right now, from the Bears organization.
I think you're right. Backup quarterback is where it's at because you're making multi-millions, and
because you still need a good teams need a good backup quarterback in case.
Chicks dig quarterbacks. Chicks do not dig punters.
What is in Blue Mountain State? What's the quarterback's name?
Alex
Moran.
Yep.
Come on, he had it right. Backup QB, no pressure, all the fun.
It's looking like
anytime I have this conversation, my head immediately goes to Kyle Orton just packing a giant lip on the sidelines in a Cowboys uniform.
I mean, anytime we could bring up Kyle Orton in a discussion, we have to.
I don't have exact figures, but I'm looking at all the backup quarterback salaries, and I'd say like 2 million is probably the average. I mean, you have outliers like fucking Jacoby Brissett's making 6 mil. Tyrod Taylor makes 5 mil. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 8 mil.
Fitzpatrick's a starter.
Alex Smith makes 16 million, but
He
that's
retired.
That's
But yeah,
different.
I think you could probably say those guys are living pretty comfortably.
So we'll say 4 to 5 million is what they make.
Yes.
If you're like a decent backup quarterback, which is, I mean, come on. And then if you get, if that team has a good offensive line, I just keep thinking of whoever was Peyton Manning's backup. Was it Curtis Painter or Jim Sturgis or whoever?
Jim Sorgi.
Jim Sorgi. I don't know who Jim Sturgis is. It's the guy. No, I think it's the guy from the movie 21. Jesus. But you think if you get a guy like that and you're behind the greatest quarterback or one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time with like one of the best offensive lines of all time.
Yeah, or you get a good running back. Every time you get a play called, you just automatically audible, halfback dive.
I mean, come on. You're telling me Jim Sorgi was not living the life. Snake it. First team, snake it till you make it. Jim Sorgi.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah,
and he's
but then
probably
you look
buddies
at-
with Peyton Manning.
You look at like Mason Rudolph, not last year, but the year before, who had to come in and play half the season, and he stunk, and then he became the villain in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then he got fucking whacked in the head with a helmet by Myles Garrett.
So is that worth it?
Big Ben's always.
Right.
I guess you have to be behind a quarterback that's like you have to be behind like a Mahomes or a Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers sort of quarterback who is really good and usually doesn't get hurt, as Rodgers gets hurt kind of frequently, but like Brady never gets hurt. Or
I mean, playing.
You know what I'm talking about.
Playing isn't the worst thing ever either. Like coming in and slinging some balls around and running an offense does sound pretty fun.
Yeah, but you also mentioned that Alex Smith's leg got decapitated, so then that's why I was trying to think of all the backup quarterbacks who get paid a lot to do nothing. Very niche audience, but I think we got to our point.
Yeah. I will say this too. It's definitely like it's like a good old boys club. It's like no matter how washed up or fallen off you are in your career, like you can still get a job somewhere well into your mid to late 30s. Like Matt Schaub was a backup quarterback still, and it's like
give me your top 3 backup quarterbacks of all time. Nobody can use Jim Sorgi though, because he is the GOAT.
That's tough. I think we should save that for the next episode.
Okay. Well, I have 3 lined up ready to go right now, but we'll stew. We'll let the audience stew. Come ready. Everybody come ready. Not just us 3. Everybody do your job. Come ready with 3 of the best backup quarterbacks that you can think of.
Do your damn job.
Matt Barkley. All right. Hey, real quick. I wanted to, I know we don't talk basketball at all because the Bulls stink, but did you see that fight between the Nuggets and the Suns fan? And if you didn't,
to be honest, I did not.
You're kidding me.
No.
I don't
pay a lick of attention to the NBA.
So here, we're going to pause it right now.
Now that the Bulls are out, I don't pay a lick of attention.
Max, you actually haven't seen this?
No. But you actually pause?
No, I'm not going to pause. Keep talking. I think I could pull it up here and we could all watch it. Just keep.
Hey, I got it right here. I'm putting it in the chat. There, I just sent it in the chat. You have to watch. I want your live reaction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just go ahead and watch that.
I have a couple thoughts that I.
Oh, this video. Yes, I did see this. I thought you were saying like a player got into a fight with a fan.
Oh, this video.
Yeah, did see this.
All right. What's your instant take on it?
My initial thoughts when I saw this were the kid in the what is that? Is that
They're both so that it's a.
He got a Jamal Murray jersey on,
and the 2 Nuggets fans both have matching Jamal Murray jerseys on.
Okay, so that's really fucking lame. First of all, if you're going to a playoff game with your buddy, you definitely make sure you don't both wear the same basketball jersey with no sleeves underneath. Second of all, that kid in the navy blue Jamal Murray jersey who got his ass beat is a fucking coward. So
the kid didn't even try to defend himself like at all. As soon as he got hit.
No, he's a coward because like he was standing there acting like he wasn't going to do anything and like it was all
and
over.
then he looks at the camera and he's like, yeah, put something in his pocket. Then he's like, essentially
out of the corner of his eye, then sneaks over there and acts like he's going to like lay
sucker punch him.
Yep.
And then he just gets absolutely dummied.
Crushed.
Shit pumped, crushed, everything. This is what my first thought was. So yeah, like that. obviously that guy's a huge pussy, but how do you lose a fight when you have higher ground?
Yeah, that too.
I'm not a physicist, but gravity's got to help you in some point, right?
Be pretty lame if he like shoved the dude like down a few rows and knocked over some other people. But I get what you're saying. You should have more reach.
1,000%. Like if you're the high man, if you're in row 10 fighting somebody in row 8, you can't, and you're in row 10, you can't lose. You just can't. I mean, if you're the guy fighting in row 8, you have to, I mean, your odds are plus 1,000. Like you just you're up against it. Your only hope is to kind of probably pull that guy down and try to just like drag him down with you to your level. Because I guess you have that leverage, but it's crazy.
How often, like when you go to an NBA game, do you really see 3 guys sitting this close to each other that just have only basketball jerseys on with no shirts on underneath? It's like, are these guys at the beach? Like they're all inside an arena just wearing a jersey with acting like they're about to go check in to the game.
When was the last time you went to a basketball game?
I don't know. It's been a minute. But like I'm saying, like I don't know. I just feel like unless not even kids do that. Like who the hell? I don't know. That just seems like a ridiculous, lame.
I see what you're saying. I feel you.
Yeah, but I guess in Chicago, like you don't see that because it's always cold as shit during basketball season. Nobody's ever going to wear essentially a tank top to a game in October through May or April, right?
I also love how long it takes for anyone who works at the arena to get over. Like it almost seems like the dude in the Suns jersey is just going to sit back down and watch the game.
And I don't think any of the Nuggets fans really cared. They're like, yep, those assholes are gone. We'll just watch the game with this Suns fan. The best part of it all, though, is after he's in this fight, beats the shit out of this guy, looks at the camera, says Suns in 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was certainly not that Suns fan's first fight ever. That kid knew what he was doing. He was throwing some heavy hands, and I'm sure it was not his first fight. But he was on Dave Portnoy's podcast, and they made T-shirts of the Suns in 4, the logo like this, and they're splitting half the profits with the kids. So
that's
good for
sweet.
that guy.
That is pretty sweet.
They're making T-shirts for it.
Yeah, Suns in 4 T-shirts, and the kid gets 50% of all profits.
And I guarantee you, leading up to that, like those 2 kids are sitting right behind him. He's got the Suns jersey on. They have the Jazz jersey on. He's outnumbered 2-1, so they're probably being fucking assholes and talking shit to him the whole time. Like they had that coming for sure.
Is there anything stupider than fighting at a sporting event?
No, because
have you ever gotten close to throwing knucks at a chucking knucks at a sporting
I've definitely
event?
gotten pissed off when I've said something to people, like in Milwaukee, actually at a Brewers game. But I would never actually think to throw hands because you're going to wind up in jail.
Right? Like it just doesn't make any sense. And 99.9% of the time it's people are drunk and it's the stupidest arguments that lead to fights. I just don't get it. I love watching them though. I love watching like fan fights.
You can make a case for fighting someone over running onto the field. Because running onto the field is just pure stupidity. It's like you're going to get a crazy fine and you're going to go to jail too. Like at least if you're fighting someone, it's probably because they deserved it or someone really fucking pissed you off.
Yeah. No, I
agree.
Kid
that got his ass kicked needs to find better friends because his buddy did literally nothing to help him at all. So shout out that guy.
Then after he gets punched, that he runs away and they're like, "Oh no, man, come on." I'm literally watching it again. This guy he's got the ripped jeans. Oh no, this is his buddy. He's just throwing uppercut. He's like, fuck it. There's 6 uppercuts. And then he's got the guy who he just beat the shit out of in his left hand. And then he just throws a punch at his friend, lands. Then he's just holding the other guy, talking shit, and there's just one for good measure, another uppercut. It's like this guy, Ty, no, you're right. This guy looks like he's a seasoned vet in the fan fighting community.
So that looks like a former hockey player. That looks like a hockey fight type guy.
You think this guy's chucking knucks?
Looks like he's chucking knucks. I think
it's like
5 minutes in the sim bin.
You end the game, or like you give the Suns like some like a 10-point lead or something like that. Like they need some kind of advantage after that.
Yeah. Plus, like it's like they're awarding points in Harry Potter, 10 points for for Phoenix.
Yeah. Like they put the kid's name up on like the on the scoreboard, and then they give him like 10 points and add that to the total score.
Devin Booker actually he quote tweeted the video and said, "Somebody give me this kid's contact info or have this kid reach out to me." This kid, I heard it on I think it was part of my take I was listening to, and I heard it, but they were saying that they need to have this kid front row at the next game, or you know how what was it like the Carolina Panthers? I know this is a very random example, but they like pound the drum before each game, or
Yeah.
like teams have a whatever tradition. They need to have this kid like
In a full-blown boxing match before the game.
hang out with like the Phoenix Suns gorilla mascot, which side note is wild that that's their mascot is a gorilla in the desert. But they need to have this kid front and center for the first or the next home game that they have. Just parade him around.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious that everyone's natural instinct is just to be like, I love this guy. Like everyone is automatically friends with this guy.
I mean, when you watched that for the first time, what was your instant reaction about each of those three people that were in the fight?
I was rooting. First of all, I was definitely rooting heavy for the Suns kid.
Low man wins.
Yeah, low man wins. But I kind of gave you what I thought about the situation already. Like I said, I guarantee you those two Jazz kids were just fucking with him all game.
Nuggets.
Stupid shit. Nuggets, I'm sorry. Messing with him all day, whatever. Finally got to a breaking point, and they thought they were tougher than him, and clearly they weren't. So those are the kind. And then obviously, when it comes down to throwing hands, they just fucking ran away.
Yeah. That's actually the perfect breakdown of that. We'll have to. I'm gonna do this every week now because I'm just such a fan of these fan fights. There's actually a Twitter account. It's called Baseball Fan Fights, and there's like 54,000 followers, and it only has like 50 tweets. But we're gonna break down a fight every week here.
That's good. I like that.
That's a good segment. We'll get that sponsored.
The last one ever will be the Malice at the Palace.
And then we just sign off forever.
We could do a full episode on that, I think.
Oh my God. Just different fan fights. Do you know who Mike Milbury is?
The name sounds familiar.
Hockey. He was a former hockey announcer. When he played, this was in the 70s. He went into the stands with the Bruins at MSG and started beating the shit out of a fan with his own shoe. Literally went into the stands. You'll have to Google that. That's actually one of the craziest fights I've ever seen. But
we should have brought that one up to John Scott.
We'll get John Scott back on the pod for next hockey season. We'll get him back on and we'll talk about Mike. I don't think he likes Mike Milbury either, but let's talk about the Cubs.
Okay.
We've been here for 40 minutes or so, and we haven't even looked at the Cubs.
I know. Well, trust me, I've been looking. I've been fucking itching to talk about the Cubs.
So let's a few things from this past series. We could talk about the Cubs beating Darvish, but I actually want to go to Friday.
We could talk about the Cubs losing to the Mets, but we're not talking about that yet. We're not going to talk about that.
No. Why would we talk about that? In my book, the Cubs are 38-0. I haven't seen one loss yet. I want to talk about Friday's game for a few different reasons. One, Wrigley's back, 100% capacity. You were in Wrigleyville. I was at the game. You were in Wrigleyville after the game. During the game, that place was electric. When Rizzo hit that home run, that place was ready to just go bonkers. And
Wrigley
so was
could not be more back. It honestly felt like a playoff series. It felt like the 2015 NLDS against the Cardinals.
Bill Murray singing the stretch, throwing Cracker Jacks out of his pocket into the 300 section, just screaming, "I'm going to scare the hell out of the Cardinals," or whatever he was saying. Is just, I mean, Wrigley's back. Who's back of the week is Wrigley Field.
First stretch, honestly.
So I actually saw Bill Murray kind of close and personal, not a big deal. He had a button. It's not like a nice button up shirt, but like a short sleeve button up, whatever, on the back of his neck. He has it embroidered and it just says William Murray.
Nice.
I don't know. I was standing next to Andy and I was like, God damn, this is such a power move. Like nobody else could pull that off. Like you're not going to see me walking around with a shirt that says Kyle Milanovic.
No. Well, no, because no one would care.
No, and people think I'm the biggest douchebag ever.
Right, or they think you're just an idiot. Like, you
Or
need
maybe
your
they
name on all
maybe
your
they think
quotes.
maybe they think it's so dumb it's smart where it's a fancy European designer. And maybe my dry fit t-shirts that I always wear are actually like it's got some flair.
Versace, Kyle Milinovich.
Yeah, congruent. So
Wow,
Wrigley
did you
was
say
bumping.
congruent. That's easily the biggest word you've
He's
ever
got
said.
a master's degree, dude.
Oh, hey, we didn't even bring this up. We should have started our the podcast with this 5 years ago, July 11th. So we are now 5 years graduated from college.
Does that make you want to throw up like it makes me want to throw up?
Can you put a sound effect in there that's like wah, wah, wah. Yeah, 5
Doesn't
years
even
ago.
matter anymore. We're so far gone from college that we're just existing. We're just old.
Our 10-year high school reunion will be next year.
Yeah, that's actually crazy, and that sucks.
You guys
Whatever.
going?
No.
I'll go to yours if you go to mine.
I'll go to yours and wear a tag that says, "Hello, I'm Kyle Milinovich."
I'll probably know just as many people at the Lamont one as I will at my
I was
own.
about to say you probably know just as many people. Max, no, I'll give you one of my T-shirts with my name embroidered on the back.
But yes, Wrigleyville was the definite, like, a perfect description of an electric factory this past weekend.
How did you like Rizzo's 14 pitch at bat?
I absolutely loved it. That has to be probably the best at bat of the season already. I'm willing to say it.
Can you think of just one single at bat? I mean, I'm trying to think. Was it Alex Cora off Matt Clement in 2004, 2005? It was 18 pitches that ended in a home run. But in a bat that was that long, and I'll say that magnitude of the game, 100% capacity for the first time. Cubs Cardinals on a Friday, fighting for first place. Rizzo 14 pitch at bat to tie the game late in the game. Are you kidding me? And then him running around the bases screaming, "Let's go!"
That was my favorite part. Was when he rounded first, just yelling.
Oh man,
Those are the kind of moments where it's like, all right, we need to keep Rizzo on the team permanently.
Yeah, and he's playing well lately. I know we get into the who to sign, who not to sign topic a lot. We won't get into that today. At least not yet.
No, we won't. But I'll just tell you, he's got his batting average back up to 265, 360 OBP, 446 slugging. Like that plays.
He went deep yesterday too, an absolute tank off Trevor May. Did you see that?
Went deep.
Patrick Wisdom.
This
dude is like, I don't know. He's nuts. This is nuts. He doesn't stop fucking hitting homers. Since May 27th, he leads the league in home runs.
That is crazy. I mean, you have to think that it's going to fizzle out at some point. Like Yerman for the White Sox he's basically crashing down to earth. I think he's got some pretty bad numbers over the past.
189 over the past month for Yerman.
Yeah. So I mean,
sweet name though.
The Yerminator. But yes, I mean, this is the kind of thing where it's just like enjoy it while it lasts with Patrick Wisdom.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to tell my grandkids about Patrick Wisdom.
You're going to show them a picture of Babe Ruth and say this was Patrick Wisdom, or the opposite way around. Show them a picture of Patrick Wisdom and tell them this was Babe Ruth.
Exactly. That's better. I like that.
Hey, do you know what Jock Peterson's hard hit rate in June is?
Hard.
69% on the dot.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been on fire. Someone let him get hot, and it was a mistake.
Who's harder, Patrick Wisdom's hit rate or Kyle's pants?
Oh.
Guy's got a hard pair of pants.
This guy's got hard pants on.
Yeah, I mean, past week, Jock's hitting 318 with 3 bombs.
I like Jock. I really do. He's a great morale guy.
Yeah, he seems like a nice clubhouse guy.
Do we want to talk about what we think they should do when like Duffy and Horner and who there's another guy that's injured, isn't there? Who else who's injured? We'll say at least Duffy and Horner when they come back. Who are they sending down? Are they going to DFA someone? I mean, you can't send Patrick Wisdom now, can you?
No, not at this rate. I mean,
Patrick Wisdom's hitting right now. By the way, if he goes deep, I'm gonna lose my mind.
He's just a guy that you need to come off the bench late in the late in the game too. If you need
Who?
some pop,
Patrick Wisdom single.
like you need a
He just
one.
singled
Yeah. Oh, he did just now.
just now off Taiwan Walker. First hit of the game, second hit of the game.
Probably
There
his
we go.
first single of the year. He's only hit home runs.
And he's hot as shit too. God damn.
You can't stop saying that.
I can't. I think
you
every time
you got a
every
serious crush on this guy.
yeah, it's actually it's Pride Month, man.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out me. What were you saying though? who can't you get up the DFA because they make contact Duffy?
No. I was saying Wisdom is the kind of guy you want, like
Off
late
the
in
bench.
Game, he could come off the bench and hit a home run. Like if you need one swing to tie the ball game, you're telling him to grab a bat.
I don't want Wisdom coming off the bench. I want Wisdom hitting third or fourth right now.
Right.
Jesus
but I mean,
Christ. Sit Jason Hayward on the bench. Put KB in right.
I know you've been talking about how you like Sergio
Alcantara.
Yeah, but he's been pretty sluggish at the plate lately.
Javi, get up. Yep. Gone. Javi
Yahtzee?
bomb. Yahtzee. 2-run shot, right field. Here we go.
Now tell everyone how you don't want to keep Javi. Let the people know.
Oh, fuck.
We have
We'll
to pull
save
the
it.
old tapes.
We'll save that for about 30 minutes when Javi strikes out. No, I'm very much a reactionary guy, but if I were Tom Ricketts, I'd be standing at the top step of the dugout with a blank check. Sign it, Javi. We'll figure out the rest.
A blank check and a hat for him to sign.
Oh fuck. Okay, keep going about Patrick Wisdom coming off the bench. All right. Who are we DFAing? Who are we DFAing? It's got to be so good, right?
You just want him.
Alcantara.
You want him on the roster. I think you're DFAing Alcantara. Because
because he has Alcantara's got options. I think you could send Alcantara back down.
Okay. Well, then you send him down to the minors.
And to me, I think you DFA Sogard. Cubs Insider, I think it's Evan Altman who from Cubs Insider the other day wrote an article about how Eric Sogard is statistically the worst hitter in baseball.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with that.
But he makes contact.
Not hard contact.
I mean, I'll give you this. He definitely makes contact. And I think he is the type of guy that is good off the bench in a pinch where it's a very specific situation, but you have bases loaded, one out, and you need somebody to put the ball in play, right? That's essentially what you need. Or a guy on third, less than 2 outs.
Yeah.
But oh man, those situations are definitely few and far between, and I just do not like him.
Who do you like? Do you like Zach Davies?
Yeah. Fucking rights. I like Zach Davies. Are you kidding me?
I'm starting to like Zach Davies too, because over the past month, he has a 2.25 ERA and a 1.13 whip in 32 innings.
That plays.
That definitely plays.
He
doesn't get the Ks, but I mean, he keeps the ball down.
So did you see, and this will make sense when I fulfill my point here, but did you see what happened with Tyler Glasnow of the Rays?
Yeah. Yes, I did. He was my 3rd round pick in fantasy.
Shout out him.
Tell us more about your fantasy baseball team.
I won't go any further. I'll let you tell us about Tyler Glasnow.
Thank you. So today he met with reporters. He has a partially torn UCL.
Yep.
And he's essentially saying that since
Sunscreen.
MLB, I'm trying to find the quote here. Jesse Rogers has 7,000 tweets on it. Jesus Christ. He stopped using sunscreen a couple starts ago and said he felt sore towards his arm his arm felt sore afterwards because of the difficulty with grip. Same last night, and he thinks that's what contributed to his arm getting hurt yesterday. But do you think the Cubs going towards these, I'll say, soft throwing pitchers is a result of them not wanting to put a lot of money in hard throwing arms that are exponentially more fragile and likely to get hurt?
That is
Did that point make sense? How I went full circle? Did that make
Yeah.
sense?
I get what you're trying to say. It's a very interesting take. I think it's a little too far out there for me though, because
At least I'll say at least starting pitchers.
okay, I can kind of get behind that then. But so basically, what you're saying is the Cubs are intentionally not putting money into a flamethrower.
I mean, they
With fear
easily
of
could
injury.
have. They easily could have. Look at a guy. I mean, in this past offseason, they could have signed Rodon for cheap, but he's, I mean, not to say, and they probably should have, to be honest with you, but I mean, he's another hard throwing guy. I mean, I don't know what the difference is that in between, 96 to 97 compared to, I mean, like Adbear sits like 94, 95. I mean, yeah. I know the difference. I have my MBA. It's 1 to 2 miles an hour. But compared to strain on the UCL, I don't know. I've been thinking that. You know why? Because I've actually been reading a book. Not a big deal. I have been reading a book called The Arm by Jeff Passan. So this is actually where all this information is coming from. It's not like I've done any research. I just happened to read a book for once in my life. But yeah, pitchers who are throwing harder obviously are exponentially more likely. Exponentially, is that the right word?
Yes. Don't question yourself. You got it.
I played Yahtzee yesterday, so I am buzzing right now.
Nice.
They are exponentially more likely to get hurt, and so then it made me think. Obviously, the Cubs, they have Davies, Hendricks, Mills is pitching right now. Arrieta now is not the flamethrower that he once was.
I mean, do you really think that was strategic?
Then it makes me think like, well, okay, you could have.
Because at the same time, that they do not have one starter with an ERA under 4.
No, but
and the Vanderbilt pitching staff has a higher average fastball velocity than the Cubs.
So, why do you think the Cubs traded Darvish compared to trading Hendricks? Do you think it was because they could get more value out of him? I mean, you think he probably, right? But don't you also think the arm injury factor comes into play?
Yeah, but at the same time, Hendricks is on a team-friendly deal, and Darvish was making a shit ton of money.
Okay, which would almost make Hendricks more attractive for other teams, and they would just unload the farm for a team-friendly deal, right? For a good pitcher.
Okay, I mean, I can kind of see it.
I know it's kind of like it's out there, but I think it definitely deserves discussion. I don't think that crazy out of the realm of possibility.
To be honest, I'm not necessarily knocking it. I think there's definitely truth to it. I mean, you look at how many guys go down, especially this year after a shortened season with arm injuries. It's literally just one after the other.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact numbers of IL trips, IL stints this year compared to, I'll say 60, the first 60 games this year compared to the 60 last year, but I know it's a lot higher this year.
Yes, no doubt.
But I think there is something with the Cubs and going after.
I mean, if you're going to have the best bullpen in the MLB, then I don't really give a shit who's starting.
Yeah, let's quickly touch on the bullpen here because I am rock. You want to talk about hard pants? Holy fuck, the bullpen
put on your hard pants.
I put on my hard pants. Who do you want? Just let's throw a dart. Name any reliever and let's just go off on them.
Okay, let's start with Ryan Tepera because
phenomenal MVP.
My sister's boyfriend, her family said that they think Ryan Tepera looks like me. I don't see it as much. I think it's just the beard.
And no, because dude, he's got like a fattish face.
Yes.
And like kind of like puffier upper cheekbones.
Is he ugly?
He's not good looking. So
maybe it looks like Max. No, that plays.
Well, here's the biggest difference. He has like a 1.95 ERA.
And you're more like a 2.3. I get it.
What's his ERA since May though? I bet you it's 0.
I bet you it is too. I bet you him, Craig Kimbrell, Big Daddy Shafeen, Andrew Chafin for those who speak in layman's terms, and then Dan Winkler and Rex Brothers, all of a combined K9 of 11.5.
I like that. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Here, keep spewing stats. I'm looking up Tepera's numbers since May.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about Kimbrel here, and I'm just gonna break out the Jurgens.
I mean, he's got a sub-1 ERA. He's got 18 saves. And
I like that.
And he made the Cardinals just look like, yeah. Well, he made Nolan Arenado look like pretty much he was square dancing at the plate the other night.
Oh my God, yeah. I cut that video where we put on Instagram, and he is just absolutely jelly-legged. He's dancing. He's literally got his tap dance shoes on, dancing in the batter's box. It's crazy.
Yep. That was the definition of buckled.
I don't know how these guys
in the
even
biz
fucking hit. Like, how does anybody hit that? Like, he's throwing 90, 97 to 99 just on an absolute rope. Really? And then he just drops that knuckle curve out of the same arm slot and same tunnel. Like, I don't know. I mean,
I didn't talk about the uniforms.
Oh, I give him an A. Not an A plus, but I definitely give him an A. I think they look better with the pants and in person and with like the whole ensemble then.
I liked them better than the Sox.
And I think they look definitely better on the field than they did in the warehouse.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and that's not even being biased. I think they 100% looked better than the Sox.
That's a look where you have to wear your pants up though and show off the powder blues.
The Big Daddy Shafeen just wore the normal navy or Cubby blue socks with it.
He did.
He didn't give a fuck about that.
Didn't care at all. I think he posted on his Instagram. He's like, I just wore my normal socks because I like them better.
There was a video of Shafeen hitting a batting practice tank the other day. He's a righty. He's the reverse from us. We bat lefty, throw righty. He throws lefty and bats righty.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
He's a Randy Johnson type guy. Here, I got Ryan Tepera's numbers since the beginning of May, since May 1. So 20 games, 21.2 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts, 1 earned run. That comes out to a .42 ERA. I don't know about you, Ty. You're our stat guy, but is that good?
Want to get the calculator?
0.42.
Those are numbers. Yeah, and they're good ones.
those what I just said, those were those were numbers, yes.
They're definitely integers.
I don't have my masters, but I know numbers when I see them, dude.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot. I love it. I don't mind masters.
What is going on with their bullpen? Do you think they borrowed some of Glasnow's sunscreen or what?
I don't know. I mean, coming into the season, people were not too fond of the Cubs back end. They were not too fond of the Cubs pitching in general, or pretty much just the Cubs in general. There's the please, I'm trying to find this Bob Nightingale tweet. He basically said when the Cardinals traded for Arenado in the offseason that they should put the champagne on ice because they have the division locked up and that they're going for the jugular. The Cardinals right now are under 500.
Yes, they are.
Like 6 games out. Bob Nightingale, you are an idiot.
You lose.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I mean, here's the thing though: is the Brewers can't stop losing either, or winning either. It's literally like anytime you think the Cubs are gaining ground and you check the standings or the scoreboard to see what the Brewers did, they won too.
So the Cubs have the hardest strength of schedule in June, right? The Brewers had one of the weakest strength of schedule in June. So, and they're at a dead heat. I mean, the Brewers have the Pirates, they had the Diamondbacks. Those two teams, I mean, the Diamondbacks, Jesus Christ. I mean, we don't need to dive in too much into the Arizona Diamondbacks, but I think at one point they lost 18 straight road games and 30 of 36 overall.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
They have like a .29 win percentage.
Those are numbers.
Now he's got the calculator. He's like Kevin from The Office. He could do math when it involves pies, but not when it involves anything else.
Pies and gambling, but yeah, that's about it.
But it involves ice cream from the ice cream truck.
Yeah, when he's calculating how much money he has to spend on a Choco Taco. But if it's how much he has to spend on like vegetables, he has no idea how to move the numbers around.
Those are not numbers.
Oh, fuck, the Mets just tied it. Long game, a lot of game left. All right, what else do we got here?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, the schedule is tough for the Cubs. They have this 4-gamer with the Mets right now. I think they got the Marlins in between, and maybe like a 2-gamer with the Indians, and then they have the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Reds. These are all road series too, so it doesn't get any easier for the Cubs.
Yeah, what they have is it that stretch there? Is it 10 in a row on the road? A 10-game road stretch?
Yep.
Man, the West Coast swings are always the toughest. I mean,
Yes.
here's my thing on it.
And the Dodgers are coming back for the Cubs after
Yeah.
the Cubs just owning the NL West all year so far.
I think teams going out west and playing those late night games are at a competitive disadvantage. It doesn't make any sense to me. How do you have the Cubs fly out? They play a Wednesday game, and granted it's a day game, but they play Wednesday during the day at Wrigley and then play Thursday night in San Francisco, where it's a 7-10 start, where it's a 9-10 start here.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how that makes any sense. I don't know. That's my take on it. I think they should at least give them a day to get acclimated at the very minimum, or start the game fucking earlier. And I know they're not going to do that, but I mean, come on, MLB, one time for me. You know how good MLB is at changing rules now.
Right. Well, I mean, look at how many day games the Cubs play, and obviously that's tradition. It goes back to the Stone Age or whatever. But I don't see why you can't play more day games on the West Coast.
I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about a West Coast team coming to Wrigley and playing at like a 1:20 game. I mean, they're playing at 11 in the morning. The Cubs had a competitive advantage there, but
we don't talk about that.
But yeah, no, we won't talk about that because that's not a competitive advantage. The Cubs
because it doesn't matter.
No,
fuck them.
Great analysis there, Max. Fuck them. All right, well, let's touch on the Sox here really quick. They're good.
Let me start. Yeah, obviously they're good. They're still really good, even after Nick Madrigal tore his hamstring.
Out for the year.
Out for the year, is leading the team in batting average. And what do they do after Madrigal gets hurt? They go ahead and win 4 games in a row. Destiny.
Yeah, don't you? I think they actually.
They're a team of destiny.
Right. We're giving them the big D again. Okay. I was looking up players that they could potentially go after to fill that middle infield spot. I'm assuming
Adam Frazier.
Yeah. I was thinking Todd Frazier there for a second. I was like, no.
No, he got DFA'd.
Yeah.
But I was,
Adam Frazier would be a great pickup.
Pretty sure he leads the NL in batting average or something.
And hits.
Yeah.
Leads the MLB.
Hits. Maybe it's hits, yeah.
I had 2 guys. One was Adam Frazier, and the second was Trevor Story. Can you imagine the Sox lineup with either of those two? I mean, they'd have to be.
Trevor Story, it's all over if you plug him in the middle of that line.
Yeah, I think the Adam Frazier thing's a little fluky. I mean, Pirates guy here, of course, I'm a fan, but I think it's a little fluky. Trevor Story, I think
you're a Pirates guy? I didn't know.
No.
I think it is slightly fluky just because his hard hit rate is not very good either. But he's another guy that puts the ball in play. It's the ball hard on the ground.
He would be a great, I don't want to say replacement, but a great person to fill in and slot into that second base spot. Maybe 9 hole in the order. Fuck,
I mean, shit.
To be honest,
I'd
even hit him
hitter for the Cubs.
Well, I think Nico should.
Good thing we're talking about the Sox, though.
And that was talking White Sox.
So here's my question that I did want to ask you guys, because there's a lot of talk, obviously Cubs and Sox both tearing it up right now. They're at this point, it looks like a possibility that, if they both keep up playing this well, that a World Series could happen where it's Cubs Sox this year. I mean, it's probably a pretty slim chance, but it could happen. What happens to the city of Chicago if the Sox play the Cubs in the World Series, and how quickly does it burn to the ground?
Quickly.
It'd be fucking madness. It would honestly be similar to what was going on with the Trump elections.
Oh my God. You took the words right out of my mouth. I think people would use it as an excuse to fucking loot and just burn the city down.
Right.
Talk about
Probably on the
fans fighting.
clinching game.
I don't know if it would do. I think it'd do more bad than good, honestly.
Talk about fans fighting. Yeah, you want to talk? To be honest, call this a hot take. Call it whatever you want. I wouldn't want to go to I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't want to go to a Cubs Sox World Series game at the Cell at Comiskey.
I mean,
I love that you refer to
I would
it as
definitely
Comiskey.
still go there, but I don't know. I mean, it would get testy, especially if you're sitting next to the wrong people, and I don't know. I mean,
Come on, you're telling me you're not just going to be absolutely fired up if that like Javi hits a 2-run homer to right field off Lance Lynn, who's dating a North Central grad.
if you didn't say it, you'd be doing us and him a disservice.
Yeah, that's what I need to be at Wrigley where I have strength in numbers. I need
Or
to be,
I
in
don't
a
know.
box seat or something, though.
It would honestly be fucking madness.
or I need to be in the very top row. So no matter what, I have leverage.
I don't really think about it as a realistic possibility because as it stands with the Cubs roster, I don't think they're a serious World Series contender.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's transition right back to the Cubs. What do they need to get at the deadline?
They need another starter.
Any names you want to float out there and just start on the rumor mill?
And I think if they got a leadoff hitter, that'd be good too. But that's
I like
wishful thinking.
Jock leading off. Jesus Christ, Jason Hayward's hitting 168. That's not great. That's our puke moment of the week.
Would you rather have Liam Hendricks or Craig Kimbrell?
I mean,
Because they're basically two of the
They're
best closers in the MLB.
I bet the Sox last Friday and he blew a 2-run lead. So I'm going to say Craig Kimbrell because I bet the Cubs on Sunday and he didn't blow a 2-run lead. Granted, the Sox won.
Obviously, my answer is Kimbrell too.
I would feel very comfortable with either one of those. No, I don't. I give it more of a possibility than Max's. I think the Cubs are definitely the team that would be the one or less likely to make the World Series. But I don't know. What do you think would happen, Ty? If it was a Cubs Sox showdown, you would be glued in Schaumburg. You wouldn't leave Schaumburg.
I wouldn't fucking move without a fucking firearm in my pocket. That's for sure, dude. I wouldn't want to go anywhere near the city if that happened. Like, yeah, going to the game would be sweet, but it's going to be a nightmare if it happens. And it's too early to tell at this point. So until the season gets close enough to the playoff point, then I'm not even going to speculate. But talk about looting, rioting, and fighting.
I mean,
Yeah.
not only just at the games, but think about the bar scene surrounding just all throughout Chicago too.
Yeah, not even Wrigleyville. I mean, you can't say bars on the south side. I mean,
But
I guess you
anywhere.
could, but like near the cell because there's nothing over there. But yeah, just like even West Loop, wherever, just in the loop,
Old Town,
Lincoln Park,
like all those
Old Town,
bars on Wells.
Wrigleyville, LaGrange, everything's pumping.
It would literally be like a turf gang war.
That'd be fun. That'd be kind of cool though. I mean, I definitely would. I'd be glued to that Twitter page, Baseball Fan Fights. We'd have a lot to break down.
Kyle
have a lot
getting
to
in a
break
fight
down.
himself.
No, I would. I'm telling you, I'm a lover, not a fighter. If I went to a game on the south side, I would go with like the biggest people I know. I would buy tickets for the biggest people I know, the Kirkman brothers.
I'll go with you, dude.
You would not be invited. You would be the last on the list of people to protect me. Oh, I'll go, dude.
You know a bit about the
biggest.
Orioles.
You didn't
What
say
would you think if
muscular.
the Cubs went out and got Dylan Bundy.
I like Dylan Bundy. He's another guy.
He's not an
who's-
ace by any stretch.
No, but look at who our 4 and 5 starters are right now. As much as I love Jake, he's kind of ass. And Trevor Williams, he's on my shit list. I would not hate having Dylan Bundy by any stretch. I think he's a gamer.
Is that Ted Bundy's cousin?
I think Marquez could be a solid pickup too.
I don't know how to. Is it? I know it's looks like it's German, but is it?
I think it's
Marquez. Herman Marquez.
Yep.
I'm such an idiot.
That's coming from the guy that calls Andrew Chafin Andrew Chaffin.
Andrew Chaffin. I would like Dylan Bundy. Yes. My only caveat with Dylan Bundy is that 2 years ago when he was with the Orioles, he threw a wild pitch and forgot to back up home plate and bitched about it because it was ball four, and then the guy on second scored. So he's kind of a pussy for that.
Ipso facto, you don't want Dylan Bundy.
Yeah, because that was the one game I ever bet the Orioles because they were playing the Dodgers, and it was plus. They were honestly plus, I think, 280 to start the game. So I took them, and yeah, that literally lost the game for me. So yeah, I don't remember any bets I win, but I could remember the losses.
I mean, how often has it been proven in the MLB though that pitching wins championships, and the White Sox have what the Cubs don't at the top of their rotation? So
yeah, but I wouldn't look at. I know it's easy to say, don't look at the whole, the numbers as a whole for the Cubs rotation. Look at and
Giolito's getting hot at the right time. 2.38 ERA, 0.88, 46 Ks through 34 innings. Over the
Listen, I thought we talked about the Sox already. We're going back to the Cubs. If you created this is a good one. If you created an all Chicago rotation, do you think there would be any Cubs pitchers on it? Would Hendricks make it?
Yes, because Dallas Keuchel sucks.
What's his ERA?
It's in the fours.
Dallas Keuchel has a hot wife.
There was a point in time where it was slam dunk. Adbert Alzolay was definitely the guy on the Cubs.
Agreed.
But yes, there would definitely be at least just one Cubs pitcher.
Okay. No, that's astute analysis. All right, what else we got? That's enough baseball talk here. Where are we at on the clock here?
We are an hour and 11 minutes in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We are.
And you're running out of time here, big guy.
Yeah, I've got a softball game here. Should I tell the story about how my dog wants to fuck my knee?
Yeah, let's wrap it up with your dog fucking story.
All right. Well, I guess I've kind of Googled it, but not really. But if anybody knows, can they reach out to us? So my dog, I stole home the other day in my men's baseball league. Not a big deal.
That was stupid. Why would anyone ever try that hard?
Stealing home?
Yeah. Was it a wild pitch?
No, it was on the throw back to the pitcher. I was safe.
You're a hardo.
Try hard.
Listen, I'm not going to play and not listen. I'm here to compete. Okay. Here to compete.
Fighting for a contract in the Cubs system.
You never know. Maybe if Alcantara gets hurt or Nico, his hamstring doesn't heal correctly.
He's fighting for a contract with a men's league team. He really needs that hot dog and Gatorade after every game.
Yeah, I do.
You bring the orange slices for after the game too, dude?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds great, actually. After a hard fought ball game, a couple orange slices, I'll take it.
Only if they're in my beer.
So here, for those not watching, it's a cut on my knee. Well, it's a kind of a deep cut from sliding like an idiot. But for whatever reason, my dog is just obsessed with licking the front of my knee and then just trying to hump my leg after. And it's only the knee that has the cut. So my dog essentially wants to fuck my knee. I don't know what to do.
You get your dog neutered.
No. Papa Bubs. For those who don't know, my dog just had kids 7 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago. Deadbeat, hasn't seen him yet. Lazy prick. But yeah, he just wants to fuck my knee. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to reach out because I'm all ears.
2 suggestions. Band-Aid, get your dog neutered.
Here's a quick suggestion. Chop your dog's huge nuts off.
Here's a suggestion. Just let the dude live his life and fuck your knee, dude. What's it to you?
Well, yesterday I was like switching my legs and like folding them. And he was like sniffing the wrong knee or the wrong knee that didn't have the cut. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And then he'd like find the knee that had the cut, and he would just like get all riled up and position himself to just you want to talk about low man wins. He was getting leverage here and trying to get all he can behind his thrusts.
Just like his fucking owner, dude. He learned from you. Learn from the best.
No, dude. I don't have kids. I'm trying to learn from him.
I'm talking about the thrust game, dude.
Oh, I could thrust. Could thrust and bust.
Oh,
on that note, you want to call it? We'll just keep pushing back. Last Dance, huh?
yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll just wait till the second season comes out.
Yeah, we'll wait to the second season of The Last Dance.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Well, boys, it's been a pleasure as always. What are we naming this episode?
The Jim Miller week.
100% capacity, 100%, something along those lines.
That
Electro Factory.
or hard pants.
Hard pants. I could fuck with hard pants.
You guys let me know. We'll figure it out.
I can't fuck without hard pants.
Got these hard pants on.
All right, I'm gonna fade us out.